Hello and welcome to What I Read. And on yesterday's episode about DC Pride, I had to cut my entire section on my favorite part because I had so much to say. Since the second issue of Pride in 2021, DC Pride has included a memoir section. The first was Kevin Conroy. There was an intended one for Rachel Pollack, who sadly passed away before she could write it. Last year we had Phil Jimenez, and this year we have Jenny Blake. And I was actually really worried going into this because all of the marketing for this book talked exclusively about the interconnected narrative of DC Pride and said absolutely nothing about the memoir section, which is my favorite part, but it's never been really official. And so I was really worried they were ditching that, but I'm so glad that we got Jenny Blake's personal story about coming out as a trans woman at the age of 72, talking about her knowledge of herself, about, you know, the way she interacted with the world growing up and into, you know, the present. And of course, the way she interacted with comics, particularly having a fondness for gender-bending comics, where, you know, suddenly Superman is a girl for this episode, but also finding a convention in her area that, you know, was for LGBT people, perceiving herself as an ally, and then realizing over time, oh wait, I'm actually a trans woman, and being embraced by that community. There's also nods to DC's current generation of trans heroes, particularly Dreamer. And it's interesting because it feels like while we're often, you know, inspired by queer elders, sometimes they take inspiration from the younger generation. Because despite everything, things have changed. Despite constant assaults on trans rights, those assaults are because of the gains that have happened. They're a backlash against progress, and eventually we'll win. And more people will be empowered to live as their authentic selves at whatever age. And I think it's really important that DC continues to highlight the very real people who have made their company so successful over decades. So DC editorial, never get rid of the memoir page, or the memoir section.